Welcome to Catholic Mom Mindset, a daily show where you learn to walk closely with the Holy Spirit so you can live the life God is calling you to. I'm your host, Sterling Jaquith. Let us begin. Welcome back. Today I want to talk about one way to help your children through transitions, like going to school and coming home, playing and having free time to dinner time. Then free time again, then chores, then getting ready for bed, right? There's all these moments throughout the day that we transition. And my dad stayed with us recently, and one of the things he pointed out that I do well, which I didn't really think about, was how much I prepare the children for transition. And I will say, hey, you guys, and I literally say, prepare your hearts. This is what's going to happen. I usually say prepare your hearts if it's not great, like nap time or bedtime. I'll get the little boys, and I'm like, all right, little boys, prepare your hearts. It's almost bedtime. And I tell them the sequence of events. You're gonna play for 5 more minutes. Then we're gonna do jammies. And then we're gonna go to bed. Or sometimes we do jammies and then we do the rosary and then they go to bed. So I just tell them whatever the sequence of events is gonna be. And then I try to tell them something positive. So particularly for nap time and bedtime, I'll say, but what's one thing we're gonna do tomorrow? And Forrest always says, take a bath, which he then doesn't always want to do in the morning, but it is one of the things he thinks about fondly. Or play with my airplane. Peter's been saying airplane lately. Airplane. Oh, you want to play with your airplane? Yeah. And so when I'm putting them to nap or to bed, I'm kind of priming them for, hey, this is happening. It is hard and disappointing. Nobody wants to go to bed, except all the adults, but none of the children want to go to bed. And then, what are we going to look forward to when we wake up? Right? I'm just really trying to prime their little brains for transitions and hope and looking forward instead of just being grumpy. And we can do this about family trips too. So we live by Lake Pondere and we go to the lake a lot. And so we'll kind of get the kids and we'll be like, all right, we're going to the lake. We need to make sure we grab everything, kind of assign kids their roles. And then I tell them, I want you to get in the car without fussing. Just get in your seat, put the buckle on, not a lot of noise or complaining. Don't poke your sister, right? I'm kind of just giving them some extra instructions. We're going to drive. We're going to get to the beach. We're going to unpack. I'm going to release each one of you. You guys can play for maybe half an hour. Then we'll eat, whatever the sequence of events is. But it's really helpful to tell children what's going on because they just have no idea what's going on. And they're not adults. They can't plan. They can't predict most things. Like you'd think every night, my children, when I tell them it's going to be bedtime, that they have never been asked that before in their whole life. It's like shocking to them every time. What? We have to go to bed? I'm like, yeah. So it's fine. I don't make that mean anything. I'm very happy to tell them this is what's happening. But our life runs so much more smoothly when I just prime them ahead of time. Hey, this is what's going to happen. And if I'm dealing with something difficult, like a lot of pushback, I will tell them their response to. I'll say, I'm going to say, it's bedtime. And you're going to say, yes, Mom. Even if you feel frustrated, that's okay. But you're going to say, yes, Mom, and you're going to start walking to your room. And so a lot of you are just like winging the whole day and every moment, and you're just like frustrated and you have a lot of like sensory overload and you're touched out and you're just reactive. You're literally not doing that for yourself, and so you're not doing it for the kids. And I want you just to practice today. Just being like, oh, what is coming up? How can I prepare myself for what's coming up? And then how can I communicate something to the kids so they know what we're doing? It's really simple and it's really powerful. You're learning to be less reactive and you're teaching them to be less reactive. And listen, I am not an A-type personality person who's super organized. I'm not that. So I don't rigorously schedule my day with the kids, but I know when we're having transition moments, and that's what I think about ahead of time and I communicate to them. And so when we do meal times, the older kids have jobs. And so we'll say, all right, kids, get your hearts ready. We're going to do lunch. You know, big girls, I want you to get the waters and the spoons, clear off any puzzles from the table. Little boys, the 2 little boys at the moment go stand by their high chairs, and then I have my 5-year-old sit in his chair at the table. Forrest, go sit down. Little boys, stand by your high chairs until someone puts you in. We're getting ready. Let's be a little quiet and only ask necessary questions, because meal times in our house can feel really busy because we're trying to feed 8 people. And so if someone's like, hey, can I go play with my friend later? In the middle of us trying to cut up grilled chicken for 8 people, right? It creates more stress. So we're training them, hey, no questions during lunchtime. And then once we put the plates on the table, that's when they can ask us questions. But there's just like this critical 10-minute window of like, parents are super focused, trying to feed everybody, to bring the noise down, do your job, sit down. And it takes some training to get there, and it takes some reminding, but it's worth it. So if you're feeling like there's a lot of chaos in your day, I want you to just tuck this in your mind. What are the transition points? How can I prepare the children for what's going to happen? You don't have to change anything about your rules or your parenting or discipline or any of that. You just, what are the transition moments? And then just communicate them to the kids. This is what's going to happen. All right? That's a really good first step to going from chaos to a house that's run like a well-oiled machine. I'm not there yet, but in my mind, that's what I want. All right, you guys, thanks so much for listening, and have a blessed day. I hope you enjoyed this episode of Catholic Mom Mindset. To learn more about growing closer to the Holy Spirit, check out our free resources at madeforgreatness.co. Thank you so much for listening, and have a blessed day.